Hey, what is up, everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my Protection from Elites build. Now, this one definitely is outside the box when it comes to meta builds, just something to switch it up a little bit and to make your life a lot easier when it comes to those yellow bars. Especially when you pair it with Patience on the knee pads and at least one healing skill, it's amazing how much easier your life can get. So as always, I hope you enjoy and find this video helpful. If you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So let's get into this. Alright everyone, and here it is. As you can see, we have 10 reds, 7 blue, and 2 yellows. We really don't need those yellows very much. They just happen to fall into a couple places where they kind of benefit me a little bit, so I'm just running with it. But more or less, we're focusing on armor and damage. Now, my armor is only at 350,000, and I know that is way below par for the majority of builds right now, but you have to think the whole premise behind this build is protection from elites. Anybody with a yellow bar is going to be doing that much less damage to you. We're also going to be stacking damage to elites on the build, so we're going to be doing more damage to them. And it's kind of like a double banger for anyone with a yellow bar. If you put this on, they're not going to be having a good day. I promise you that. Now, when it comes to the reds and the purples, I think 350,000 armor and the weapon damage with the healing skills that we have is more than enough to take care of them. Tried, tested, you can run through them, no problem at all. So let's take a look at how I did this. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to be going with the Survivalist specialization simply because on the Survivalist Tree we get that extra 15% protection from elites. Pretty straightforward, easy way to get that percentage up. Now, we are also using a 2-piece tip of the spear. I think this is the first time I actually used tip of the spear, but we get that extra plus 20% protection from elites. Now, I'm also using a 2-piece Fenris, so we get that assault rifle damage as well as 10% protection from elites. And with a 1-piece 511, we get another 5% protection from elites on that. And on the knee pads, we have some mods down here that give us 4% protection from elites. I've really been looking for 5%ers so that I could crack 60%. Right now, as is, the build is sitting at 58%. And if I could get the 5%ers right here, I would be able to crack that 60. I've never found them. If you have, let me know down in the comments. So that's basically how this is all put together as far as the protection from elites. Now let's go into the specifics. Alright, so my primary weapon that I'm going to be using is a custom P416. We're hitting for 24.1k per bullet base damage. We have 825 RPM with 50 in the mag. Now, as far as the talents go, nothing too crazy. We have Ranger and Allegro with Cannon. I could really care less about Cannon. It's more about the Ranger Allegro. You could go with Measured Allegro, but with Measured Allegro, I feel like you are hitting those ammo boxes constantly because you're just spitting those bullets out so fast. At least Ranger, you have a weapon damage up, therefore you're doing a little bit more per bullet, and you can kind of save a little bit of ammo, if that makes sense. But again, to each their own, whatever works best for you. Now, as far as the mods go, I have Optic that gives me that 8% damage to elites, the magazine plus 20 rounds, the underbarrel 5% crit chance, and the muzzle 5% damage to elites. Now, as far as my secondary goes, it is the Merciless. Nothing too crazy here. I really don't even use this. I simply have it because of the holstered talent here. Holstered, landing a shot has 5% chance to deal 100% damage as explosive damage, so we're going to be doing a little bit more damage on that bullet, as well as proccing Spark on the backpack. So right there, pretty straightforward on that. Nothing too crazy. Now, for my sidearm, I have this simply because it has protected reload. While equipped, this weapon grants 10% bonus armor while reloading. So if you get into a pinch while you're reloading in a corner, got to back up, something like that, this really does come into play a lot. So other than that, let's get on to the gear pieces. Alright, so let's start out with the mask here. It is tip of the spear. We have the 2-piece equipped, so I will be getting that plus 20% protection from elites on it. And on the mask, we have 50% damage to elites with 16% skill haste. If you can get rid of that yellow and get some health or something like that on there, maybe some more crit chance, something like that, sure, go ahead. But a little bit of skill haste never hurt anyone, right? Now, as far as the mod goes, I have 1.5 weapon damage, 4% assault rifle damage, and 1% damage to armor. So nothing too crazy right there. Now, moving on to the chest piece, it is Ferocious Calm, Fenris chest piece. We have the 2-piece equipped again, so we're going to get that 10% assault rifle damage as well as another 10% protection from elites. The attributes on this chest piece are armor, 28,000. We have a little bit of crit chance on there, and 16% weapon damage. I've had a chest piece in my stash that I did find in the open world for the longest time, and you know, I said the hell with it. I'm going to put it on this chest piece because I don't know if this is going to be viable or not, or the caps are changing when the next update comes. So I've been having a blast with that 16% on there. Definitely helps out a lot. Now, as far as Perfect Berserk, I think we all know what that is. 10% weapon damage for every 20% of your max armor depleted. So again, just a weapon damage up with Hardened, 15% armor on there. And the mod is 1.5 weapon damage, 4% assault rifle damage, and another 1% damage to armor. So pretty straightforward on that. Alright, so for our holster here, it is also tip of the spear. We have some halfway decent attributes on it. 15.5 crit chance with 23,000 health, not too bad, and the mods aren't terrible either. We have an offensive mod giving me some weapon damage, damage to armor, and assault rifle damage, and the utility mod here, oh boy, get ready for this, plus 44 skill power. Isn't that amazing? But we also get that plus 5.5 explosives damage, which is going to stack with the Merciless, so every little bit counts when it comes to that. Now moving on to the knee pads here, they are Gila Guard. We get that plus 5% total armor for putting them on. We have 12% total armor roll down there, as well as patience for the talent. After being in cover for 5 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. Gotta love that there. As I showed in the gameplay, even without any healing skills down, just with patience bringing back your armor, a tank can sit there and shoot you for a little while before it actually affects you, at to a certain degree, right? It's really awesome. Gotta love this talent right here. Now, as far as the mods go, we have 2 defensive mods. They give us some armor, but I'm focusing on that protection from elites. They both have 4%. I'm looking for 5%ers. Again, if you found a 5%er, let me know down in the comments if they're even a thing, because if they are, I would be able to crack 60% protection from elites, and I'm really all about those even numbers, you know what I mean? So other than that, let's move on to the gloves. Okay, so for the gloves, they are 511. We get that plus 5% protection from elites for wearing them. We get that plus 12% assault rifle damage and 2.5% crit chance on the attributes with devastating for the talent. 5% weapon damage. Pretty straightforward on that, nothing too crazy. Now, as far as the backpack goes, this one was a little bit difficult to get. They keep giving you one with, skill power here, there, all kinds of weird rolls and stuff like that. But this one, at least we have 5.5 weapon damage on there. We have some armor with 18.5% total armor on there. That was the biggest one that I had that I couldn't roll off of something else. And either way, it's been working out really nice. Now, as far as the talents go, we have Spark and Hard Hitting. Spark is definitely crucial for the build. When you want to get that weapon damage up, this is a very, very easy way. Damaging enemies with skills or explosives grant 15% weapon damage 15 seconds. And I'm basically proccing this constantly. This is always going off simply because I'm using the Merciless for my secondary weapon. Gotta love that there. And the hard hitting there, pushing that damage to elites up another 25%. Gotta love that. Now, as far as the skills go, I'm going to be using a fixer drone just because I feel like when you pair this with the little speedball here, I call it the speedball because it's always following you around and it always keeps you up, right? It's keeping you going. But regardless, when you combo these both together, they both follow you compared to when you put, say, a hive down. You have to stay in the vicinity of the hive, and as well as tanks like to attack it. So I really try to stay away from those as of right now, especially when you're going into heroics and things like that, unless you want that tank to come closer to you. Got to think about it like that. So those are basically the skills right there. The mods that I have on here, they come standard with the Survivalist Specialization, 80% skill haste on there with 50% healing. Gotta love that right there. And as well as using these incendiary grenades, they have a very big radius. At least they're bigger than a regular concussion grenade. And if you can pause NPCs for a second and you can just pick your shots from cover, it makes your life so much easier, as well as proccing Spark as well. So that is the build in a whole, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let's take a look at the character sheet and see how all of this breaks down. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little breakdown recap here on the stat sheet. Now again, the weapon talents that I was going with were Ranger, Allegro, we have Brutality coming from the Merciless. We also have Protected Reload on my pistol. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. Now the weapon stats here, we're hitting for 24,000 per bullet, on a P416. I'd have to say that's not too bad. We have 29.5 crit chance. I wish that was a little bit higher, but it's still working out. 25 damage, 55 headshot damage, 26 range, 2.5 reload time, even though we have minus 10% reload speed on there. Now, as far as offensive goes, we have 31% all weapon damage bonus and 49% assault rifle damage bonus, giving us a grand total of 80%. 80% damage up coming out of our P416. And we have 88% damage to elites. So again, the protection to elites on top of the damage to elites, they can't hurt you very much, but you can hurt them a lot. I absolutely love this build. Definitely try this out. It is a fun one for sure. We have some armor damage, health damage, explosive damage, so on and so forth. Our gear talents here: Spark, hard hitting, perfect berserk. If you don't have perfect berserk, go ahead and just try regular berserk. That's not going to hurt you that much. We have hardened on here, devastating, and patience. Gotta love patience. Now, as far as the brand sets go, again, it's a 2-piece tip of the spear, 2-piece Fenris, and 1-piece 511. That's where you're going to get the majority of your protection from elites from. The rest of it you're going to get from the Survivalist Specialization Tree. We have a piece of Gila on there for the knee pad just because I get the 2 blue mod slots, and we get that extra armor on there. Pretty straightforward on that. As far as defense goes, we have 350,000 armor. I know that could be better, but it's still been working out just fine. Our max health is only 60,000, but again, the skills that I'm using to heal me are focusing on armor, so I'm putting everything into armor, not really focusing on health. We have 30,000 health regeneration, and here it is, guys. 58 protection from elites. 58% right there. So that's going to negate 58% of what is incoming damage from them. It doesn't matter if it's their skills, if it's them shooting at you, if they punch you in the face. It doesn't matter. 58% less damage coming in. And you can definitely feel it. You can definitely feel it 100% that this is actually working. For sure. Now, we also have some pulse resistance, so on and so forth. Nothing too crazy going on down here. As far as the skills go, we've kind of already went over those. I'm going to be going with the fixer drone and the little speed ball that heals you up. That's it, guys, pretty much in a whole. I hope you enjoyed and took something away from this. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my protection from elites build for conquering those yellow bars with ease. I hope you enjoyed or found this video helpful. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. I will see you then. Later.